All right, we're back. Another episode of The Climb, and this one is very special to me. It's number 52, and the commitment I made when I started this podcast was to do a year straight, which is 52 episodes. The Climb is now on its 52nd episode, which means we've been around for a year. So, big clap for everyone out there for joining us every week, for our guest, and more importantly, for everyone that has kind of tapped into this as a source of strength. So, really appreciate your support there. And with it being the year episode, the 52nd episode, I wanted to talk about something that was really special to me. And it's really been the climb and how important it is, not just the, aspect of this podcast, but the aspect of the climb of life that I've been through. And to start off that story, I want to, go back to a time over a year ago. I was speaking at a high school and got asked the hardest question I've ever asked in my life. And for those of you who know me closely, I'm pretty quick-witted to the point where you're not going to maybe stump me, even if I'm not responding with maybe the most intelligent answer. I'll answer rather quickly in conversation, or if someone's asking me a direct question. But I was completely stumped by this 16, 17-year-old, speaking, in a high school to over 60 students. And a lot of people had questions, simple questions that I've answered before, just about my health with the bipolar disorder, my journey with mental illness, just simple questions that I can, navigate through pretty easily. But I had someone ask, and this wasn't their only question, but they really stumped me when they raised their hand and they asked me if I had the chance to get rid of my mental illness forever, would I? And just like that, I was stuck, frozen in time, not sure what kind of curveball I just, was facing at the batter's box. But it really made me think for a second. I had to pause, and I'll give you the answer that I gave her. I said, listen, if you would have asked me a couple years ago, 100%, I would wipe clean bipolar disorder. I'd wipe clean all the stressors that I've gone through, the trauma, everything that came with, these past years. But as of right now, no, I wouldn't wipe anything clean. I am grateful to have the opportunity to go through these experiences because it made me the person I am today. And that is the beauty of the climb. It is something that we all face. It's a mountain standing in our way, a mountain-like obstacle standing in our way. And it could be mental health, could be emotional health, could be physical health, could be something just in life, like a milestone of some sort. And standing in front of that mountain, you don't know how great you feel at the top until you actually get there. And having gone through some severe, treacherous mountain climbs, per se, in the past 12 years, I'm extremely grateful for it. Some of the most grateful moments that I have in my life is conquering these mountains and that climb that we all have. And as you guys know, just focusing on, some of these common themes that you see, in the Climb podcast and through these conversations week by week, it's not done alone. It never was done alone for me. Tapping into, the faith, the love, the help, and the support of others was so crucial. And, reason for me starting Team Garbo was to emphasize that it's okay to not be okay, but also to reach out for help. I was so fortunate, and I am still so fortunate to have such a great support system to really guide me through some really tough times and keep my head above water when maybe in other circumstances I wouldn't have. So if you're thinking that, a mountain gets climbed by yourself, that's just not the case. And you've probably have seen that in these past 51 episodes, that it does take a village. It does take a team. Even if you're climbing Mount Everest, you need to go up with a bunch of different people. NASCAR, you have one car going around the track 400 different times, but there's a whole team in place to make sure that it's fueled up, that it's stopping at the right times, that the tires are changed, that anything that needs to be done prior to the race or after the race to the race car is done. And it is teamwork. But at the end of the day, what I was extremely grateful for was the growth that I had, and that I never would have thought that I would have grown so far if I didn't go through such struggle. And it's almost like another thing we've talked about, this growth mindset, right? How are you perceiving, the different obstacles that you face? Is it a challenge, or is it a complete burden to your life that's going to deroot you from your path? And that's just the beauty of it. I was so utterly impressed with the question that was asked to me. And it really made me reflect and be grateful of all the times that I've shared of struggle. And it's really just the difference of, how you want to see the situation. Every challenge is going to be difficult, but at the top of that mountain, the view is so much better at the bottom. I know that from experience 3 different times. If you just go by statistics, someone that has bipolar disorder, 1, someone that has severe manic episodes should be 1, incarcerated, 2, have some type of addiction of some sort, or 3, maybe not even be able to function in a real life, structure. Someone going through that just once has such a great probability of many of those things happening. I've been through it 3 times. And yet I come out the other side because of the help, love, and support of others, but also from the drive of myself, knowing that these mountains in front of me are just obstacles. And that the true importance of climbing these mountains are not for potential achievements of status or milestones of age and different types of career success, but it's with the achievement of overcoming these obstacles are where your real fulfillment lies. So I think with all that being said, it makes a lot of sense why this podcast has been the climb and why that's the theme. Because whether you think something is unbelievably unfair or not, it's still the cards you're dealt. And you can play that card. You don't have to fold. You don't have to go all in. You just have to play the card 1 card at a time. And if you do that, and if you face your mountain as an obstacle that can be achieved, then you can feel as if you can do anything. And I'm really grateful for it. I'm grateful for everything in the past 12 years, and I'm excited for the future. I think, and a lot of people probably can guess if you're followers of this, that you are in control of your destiny. Now, does that mean that I can, at age 30, go play college football again because I have a year of eligibility, or try to make it to the pros? Probably not, right? There's some things that are out of our control. But you can control, right, how you feel about certain things, how you react, how you respond. And these small different actions of control can really build up into this monumentous mountain that you've climbed. And so I challenge everyone to look back, on their past years or potentially in their future at these underlooked mountains that you've climbed, and give yourself the appreciation that you deserve. Because at the end of the day, it's going to become up to us, the person we see in the mirror, to hold ourselves accountable, but also to continue to motivate ourselves. It wasn't until my 3rd hospitalization and getting out of it in recovery, realizing that I had to do everything in my power to stay out of trouble. And when I say trouble, I'm in regards to my health. The proof was in the pudding that I was going to have people around me to help me and navigate different situations, but it was really going to come down to me. And so if everyone looks at themselves with a sense of accountability and a sense of pride that they've already climbed mountains in their life and they have what it's in them, you'll have this internal flame that will continue to motivate you throughout life and empower you to overcome the wildest obstacles and maybe achieve some of your biggest dreams. So, am I grateful for the climb? Absolutely. Ask me that question again. If I were to speak, hey, would you take away the mental illness? Absolutely not. I think that from what I've gone through is enough to bottle up and sell it to the world. And I'm so happy for everyone that takes a part of Team Garbo or my messages or the climb, that they can take a little bit for them, because at the end of the day, we can all be the best versions of ourselves. It might take help from others. It might take a couple trial and errors, but we do have it within ourselves. So here's to another great year of the climb and more to come. I am, so proud of everyone who has come on this platform and shared information, whether it's personal information about their own lives or insight that helps them, live as well. It's been truly empowering just to hear other people's stories, as I hope it would be empowering for others to hear mine. So really grateful for everyone, and here's to another successful year and a healthy year for everyone. Thanks so much, guys.